Hey, what's up? Happy Monday! Today I wanted to talk about this hobby of mine. And it all started like about 4 years ago when I was really into this one Otome game. And it was about like Alice in Wonderland and all this stuff. And they had a stage play for it. So I started following all of the actors on Twitter. And through that, I found the background dancers as well, who happened to be in a small four-man like idol group. So my very first time going to an idol live was going to see that group, and they were called Ole Ole. They don't do activities anymore, unfortunately, but through that one live, I began a journey of discovering like this underground idol community. And it's been really great. There's a lot of fun things about this kind of subculture in Japan. I admit I'm not any expert on this. I just know what I know. And I want to share some of the things that I've learned to try to open up this to other people. I want other people to find out about these groups, and I want them to come see their lives and their concerts and stuff. It's a really great part of Japanese culture that is unique to Japan. It's probably a lot similar to Korean idol culture as well, but I wouldn't know. I'm just assuming that. For some big idol groups like AKB48, SMAP, Johnny's, and all like the really big mainstream groups, they have this relationship with the fans that has evolved. Maybe they did have beginnings just like the groups that I'm aware of right now, but at the moment, because of their popularity, like they are almost like untouchable idols. They're someone that you kind of just like dream about. And with these small groups, or not small groups, but groups that are breaking into mainstream, their relationship with the fans is a lot more intimate. And there are also events after the lives where you can take photos with them. They're called checkies. It's the Polaroid photo. And if you want, you can do like handshake and talk to them a little bit, or hakusho. It's a lot of fun. It's like much more, you can like talk to them and get to know them personally. They have a deeper relationship, it seems. One of the connections between this kind of environment is that, especially in Tokyo, but maybe in other parts of Japan as well, there are lots of activities and commodities and products that are like an emotional connection for the customer. There's birthday events for anime characters. There are cafes for AI boyfriend apps. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about this, but there's that boyfriend pillow that women were reportedly buying a lot of so that they could have like the feeling of a man's arm around them. So lots of things that kind of help like this like lonely lifestyle in Tokyo, because Tokyo is known as one of the most loneliest cities in the world. It's easy to have your own routine, everything's bustling, and it's easy to just be alone and feel alone even though there's so many people around you. So a lot of these industries have tapped into what these people want. And I'm not saying that fans of idol groups are lonely. What I was attracted to was the dancing and singing and talent. So it's not just that, but for some people it is that connection that brings them to these underground idols that have this really nice relationship and make you feel special. So some of the groups that I'm aware of are A Parade, Deal, Addiction, of course. They're breaking through mainstream recently. It's very cool. There's Wave, Fizzy Pop, Sellout, Hangover. There's a lot of groups with a lot of unique names. Those are just a few of them that I know of. I can link down some websites for venues, and they probably have their schedules on there. You can go look for yourself and see what groups are there. It's a whole rabbit hole, especially when you're on Twitter. Once you follow one person, like you see the other idols that they follow, and you could just go down and like discover lots of different groups. You will definitely find something that you will like. So at lives, there's this nice, comfortable feeling with the fans because it's almost like a family kind of thing. And so even if there's a mistake, like if someone like hits a wrong note or something, or accidentally misses a step, if something silly happens, it just makes everything much more fun and memorable. It's not like any mistake, it's like they're easily forgiven because you're not meant to be absolutely perfect. It's endearing to have a couple little mistakes. The voice actor, Aoi Shota, I went to see him at a Halloween event a couple years ago, and he was just drinking water and everyone was like, "Oh, you're so cute." So it's like kind of almost like that thing. It's like everything they do is cute, even if it's a little bit of like a little hiccup or something, like figuratively. I mentioned checkies before, the Polaroid photos that you take with whatever idol or the whole group that you choose. There's different poses available, and I mean there's like a spectrum of what you're allowed to do. So with some groups that have maybe a smaller fan base and they're more tight-knit, they have a more loose set of rules. I've seen people have a lot of type of like couple poses, like hugging and like almost kissing, not quite, but like they're right there. And it's like a nice little like doki doki moment for them. Personally, I just like to go like this. I'm boring like that. There's also like the more popular a group becomes, like the more strict the rules become, such as recently with Addiction, because of their campaign for the new CD called Party in the Sky, they have gotten a huge amount of fans coming in, and which is great. But sometimes they don't know the rules themselves, so there's like a refresh and sometimes they change it a little bit. So now you can't exactly request a pose sometimes. It depends on the situation. You're not allowed to touch them. Nothing that would make anybody uncomfortable. So it's like that for some groups. For the groups that have more lenient regulations for their checkies, sometimes it's like a competition among the fans, like who can take like the closest looking photo, and it kind of gets everybody pumped to try and like be the closest that they can be with their favorite idol. Another special thing about this subculture is that it's not a certain age group. For in America, a lot of younger ladies, girls, women are into K-pop and J-pop. It's not so often that you see an older person into it. In Japan, it's much different. There are literally from like elementary school to I've seen 80-year-olds go, and it's great because they have like everyone gets treated just as special as the next person, no matter their looks, their age, or anything really. It's really nice. So when I first went, I felt really touched because I felt so out of place, especially because my Japanese was not good and I didn't know anything about the system, how to get the penlights, like something like this where you have like different colors or just one specific color. I didn't know anything. So I felt really out of place, but meeting the idols, even if they didn't know me for that first time too, they really made me feel welcome, and the fans as well. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but it's really worth it to break into those circles. I still have some friends that I've known for the last like 3 or 4 years, and it's been really special to know them and to talk about the lives and how the idols are doing. And plus, because obviously like they're Japanese, they can tell me things that I didn't catch before. So it's really nice. I highly recommend making friends if you get into this. For some of the fans, it can be a relationship, like they can have almost this virtual boyfriend. There's no pressure to actually have that relationship for real, and you just have like the nice feeling of having a nice, kind, handsome guy pay attention to you. For some of the older women who are in this fan community, they sometimes have like this nice like motherly feeling towards them, and they just want these young men to do really well. So everybody has a different reason for seeing them. It's really fun to talk and ask about the things that they like from their idols. I really want to open up this subculture to the Western world and to other people who may not know about it, because it's such a great place to find friends and to enjoy yourself. And there are varying prices, so if you have a tight budget, there are still other lives that you can go to. Sometimes there are free lives too. And if you want to go to an extra special event, it's like you can save your money, and even the act of doing that is really important to the idols. They really appreciate their fans that come to the lives whenever they can. I know recently I haven't been going to an Addiction live in a while. It makes me feel nervous to go back, because I'm hopefully going to this one event, but every time I do go, they always ask like, "Oh, like, are you okay? Like, how are you? And it's been such a while." They do remember their fans, and it's really great to feel appreciated. Don't feel like you should not go, that you will be out of place, and don't let that stop you from talking to the other fans as well. They always want to talk to new people. If you sense that maybe someone doesn't want to talk to you, talk to someone else. Like, there's literally at least like 50 people. There have been some issues with some fans that have had this obsession. Like, for this one group that I was a huge fan of for about a year and a half, was this group called Broom. And one of the members had an incident where there was a stalker following him, and it kind of breaks down that special relationship, and it takes away that trust that they're supposed to have in between the fan and the idol, and it's super frowned upon. Another thing that breaks this relationship and also can hurt the idol's career and ban the fan from future events is what I guess I can call fraternization. There's like a rule that you cannot have a personal relationship with them, seriously, like personal, maybe dating or friendship kind of thing. Like, it's strictly fan-idol relationship. It's kind of like you have to think about how there's like mother-daughter, father-son, Holy Spirit, JK. It's a special relationship that's part of the Japanese culture. Just like how they have like senpai-kohai relationships. It's important to keep those barriers up so that everybody can enjoy the same environment, because you're not the only fan. Like, you have to consider the other fans' feelings as well. So if you didn't know this about hosts are the guys that you go to like the host bars and you pay for their drinks and they talk to you and they're nice to you, and it's like almost like a mirror image of the idol fan relationship. But hosts are allowed to take you out on dates outside of the bar so that they have a good repertoire with you. Fan-idol relationship is more pure. I won't name names, but there's this one group that had an incident where a member was staying in the shared apartment with the rest of the group, and he was the only one there because he was sick, and he had invited a fan over. They like took pictures of the fan in the costumes of the members, and what she did was tell everybody about her experience. First of all, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have invited a fan over. And second of all, she shouldn't have tried to pursue that kind of relationship with him. Also, not tell people afterward, because guess what happened? He got kicked out of the group. It's a breach of this special relationship, and it probably disturbed the fans, and especially the ones that were biased towards that member. Another facet of Japanese culture that works into this idol culture is gift giving, and it's a way to show your appreciation to your favorite idol. Some events that they allow gift giving are like birthday, sometimes Valentine's Day, and Christmas events as well. Those are other places that you can give gifts directly, sometimes directly to the idols. Other times you either have to request to give a gift and they have like a box that you put it in. I highly recommend going to an event like this, because compared to other kinds of subculture like visual K, for example, visual K lives are really fun. It's different from going to a rock concert in America, for example. Like, when you go to a VK live, everybody has like these certain hand motions that you do at certain parts, and it's the same thing with like Japanese baseball games and also the J-pop idol groups as well. They always have like some special cheer that you do, so it's the same thing for VK. But the difference between going to a VK live as opposed to idol live is that VK fans, it's almost like that host relationship that I mentioned earlier. There's that probability that you can become a groupie, and a groupie that has a personal relationship with a band member. Everybody is like, it's like wildcats fighting. Everybody is trying to be the most goth looking or sexy, and there is a bad reputation for foreigners who come and see the lives, the VK lives, because a lot of Japanese fans think that they want to sleep with them. So when I would go to a VK live, I would get glared at, people would move their chairs away from me. It was really humiliating, honestly. And there were two other foreign girls, and they didn't talk to me because like I said, it was like a cat fight. Like, everybody was fighting for the attention. So if you just want to have a good time, enjoy some music, and dancing, fun lights, and cheering, please try an idol live. I super recommend it. So that's it for today. If there's another thing that you would like to know about, please let me know. I'll put it on my list. I don't forget people's requests. And please let me know what you like about my videos, and don't forget to subscribe to see more. See you next Monday.